public comment for agenda items only.
Okay, that's probably me. Yeah, Mindy Meyer. I'm here actually regarding a response to last month's meeting when it was regarding the Hope House on the corner down there. I'm just kind of coming back with my response because I really didn't say much that night. So my response on that is, I live next door, to be honest, and so I kind of have had a full grasp of their occupancy there and stuff. And actually before the last meeting, I was informed by the owner that, you know, I should have proof if I was going to say anything. So I did put up cameras, and I do have proof of most anything I'm going to say tonight. And it's just, there's such an occupancy there. And even in the last 2 weeks, they're throwing frisbees on the sidewalks, in the street, in the parking lots. One even hit one of my cameras and knocked it out. And their hygiene's probably, I mean, they're fine on that, but they're spitting into the curb and into the trash can of the stuff. And it's not against the people or the program or anything like that, but there's no way this cannot be affecting businesses in the downtown area. And they're smoking out front, so first thing in the morning, 7, you know, if my windows were open, it's been cold, so they haven't been. Smoke's coming in. It's just something that you would think there would be a bigger picture on this. And I would be here even if it wasn't the Hope House. If it was an apartment complex that they were doing the same stuff on the sidewalks, I would definitely be here in the same situation. There's just, I do have videos, being I was forewarned that I should have proof. So if you would like to have those videos, I would be of some of the instances. And to give you a gist of, it's like 8 people on the sidewalk, but it takes up a bit of the sidewalk. This morning, there was a lady that was coming and they didn't move. And they moved for a lot of the other people too. But yeah, I just think we need a little bit more consideration, even if they went across to where the gazebo is versus just landing on that front parking lot. And it actually back by the trash cans too. They would come look in my back office windows when they were pacing and stuff until I finally told them. I don't see any action out of the Hope House unless something is prompted to make them do action. And even the people that are staffing it, when they're throwing frisbees in the street and on the sidewalk and stuff, there's no response. They're just standing there watching it all happen. So I just think, you know, we just need at least some rules and regulations in the least bit. So that's my statement. And if you would like to have any of the videos or something, you know, you just properly get it from me, and I'd be happy to share it. Thank you.
And item B is a letter from Mr. Jansen, also regarding the Hope House. Any discussion on any of these items? Did you want to cover your letter?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I'll read the first part of the letter. Honorable Mayor Stockford and esteemed council persons. I write this letter in reference to the controversy concerning individuals in the Hope House program and their presence in public standing on the sidewalk for all to see. A member of the council stated that they need to earn the trust of the community again, paraphrase. I believe that most, if not all, the council members claim to be Christians. This begs the question, do you act like Christians? Do you do what Jesus would do? Peter, Christ's chosen leader, denied knowing Christ 3 times, Matthew 26 and 31 through 75. Did Jesus say to Peter after the resurrection, Peter, you were my chosen leader of the church and you denied me for others? Not once, not twice, but 3 times. How can I trust you again? No, Jesus accepted Peter as he was, with full knowledge that Peter would betray him later. In Matthew 16:18, Jesus says to Peter, and I tell you that you are Peter, and on this rock I will build my church, and the gates of Hades will not overcome it. Now, Jesus did not associate with the Pharisees or the Sanhedrin, which was the Jewish council, but with beggars, adulterers, the sick, and the poor. Let us remember how Jesus felt about those who have needs. Matthew 25:37 to 45. And then the righteous will answer him, saying, Lord, when did we see you hungry and feed you, or thirsty and give you drink? When did we see you a stranger and take you in, or naked and clothe you? Or when did we see you sick or in prison and come to you? And the king will answer and say to them, Assuredly I say to you, inasmuch as you did it to one of the least of these my brethren, you did it to me. Then he shall also say to those on the left hand, Depart from me, you cursed, into the everlasting fire prepared for the devil and his angels. For I was hungry, and you gave me no food. I was thirsty, you gave me no drink. I was a stranger, and you did not take me in. Naked, and you did not clothe me. Sick and in prison, and you did not visit me. Then they also will answer him, saying, Lord, when did we see you hungry, or thirsty, or a stranger, or naked, or sick, or in prison, and did not minister to you? Then he will answer them, saying, Assuredly I say to you, inasmuch as you did not do it to one of the least of these, you did not do it to me. Go on, attach, I'm not going to read the letter for the next one. The whole question is, Christian or not? From previous comments at other meetings, these people have been stereotyped. Oh, they're substance abusers. I know there may be substance abusers on the council in recovery. Maybe not. The whole thing is, we hear that people are afraid of them. We hear about the grandmother who went, oh my God, I can't go to the market on Saturdays with my grandchild. Something may happen to them. Who owns the problem? The persons with the misconception, with a false idea that these people are dangerous? You have to look at who owns that problem. It's the ones with the misconceptions, not these people. And to put them in, to say, oh, you know what? Put them in another neighborhood, not downtown. They don't belong downtown. They're just human beings. In fact, we should cherish them, the fact that they are in a program. They're no longer at home with their family, with their friends. They're in a program to get better. So, and I just ask you to take a look at your own convictions. And those who claim to be Christians, are you walking the way Jesus walked? Would any of you invite them to dinner at your house? Thank you.
Thanks, Ted. Appreciate you coming tonight. Hold on one second, Councilman Stuchel. I feel like we're really getting off track and this is getting very counterproductive regarding the Hope House. I don't think, and I feel like this is the last time I'm going to say this, I don't think anybody on council has said anything bad about the people at the Hope House or treated them as lesser than people. The whole issue the entire time has been that this is a commercial district down here for businesses, and it's being disrupted because we're looking for retail business down there. So I appreciate what you're saying, Ted. I'm 100% sympathetic to substance abuse issues. I will say here tonight, I've had them myself. It's been a while, but I have had them myself. I'm not ashamed of it. I turned my life around 20 years ago, and I'm sympathetic to these gentlemen. But I feel like this idea that anybody that speaks out against the location of the Hope House is a total straw man argument to say you don't support people getting second chances, or you don't. So we're just going over this every single council meeting. Nobody's trying to kick the Hope House out, but I get a lot of complaints from business owners down there, and I get a lot of complaints from residents too. So I support their mission, and at the same time recognize that it's been a disruption to have that down there. Councilman Stuchel.
Well, I'm going to add to that because this letter was nothing short of complete nonsense. Mr. Jansen does not have the slightest clue the depth of any member's faith on this council, not a clue. And the backhanded statements about council is just disgusting, just disgusting. Mr. Jansen's rush towards his self-righteousness, he has completely missed the point that the mayor has made. This council is talking about economic development. We're talking about surrounding businesses. We're talking about this to limit the growth of downtown. There has been an increase in boldness of public comments of the entirety of this council. Not a single council member that I know of have ever said they were a saint. We are people debating and discussing public views, public policies, what is right, what is just, what we feel is fair. People are free to criticize those. You're more than free to come up and criticize any policy that we come up with. But nobody has the right or the moral high ground to judge us. And this has to stop. Because every meeting, we have people come here and berate us for people trying to do our job. Nobody has the right to do that. You do not have the moral high ground. It needs to stop.
Thank you, Councilman Stuchel. Any more council discussion? It really isn't about morality. It isn't. It's when you
compare us to Pharisees of Christ who crucified
No,
Christ.
no. I mean,
come on.
I mean, what we
Matthew 7:3. Please read it when you get home.
I mean, when we discuss up here about the Hope House,
Oh, right.
what
It's
should
not- it's about
when you have business owners and residents that come to you, what are we supposed to do as council members?
That's right.
Get used to it. There's nothing we can do about it. You're a bad person. I'm not going to do that to people, and I'm not going to point at the Hope House and say you're bad people either.
Nobody's ever said that in this council. It's about business economic development downtown. That's what it's about, and that deters the growth. It deters businesses around that area. That's what it does. It's just not the place to put it. No one's against the Hope House. It just needs to belong someplace else other than downtown Hillsdale. Like I said earlier, you don't put your shower in your dining room.
Any more discussion on this item? We'll move on to introduction ordinance.
In reference to Mr. Stuchel's comment about high moral ground, I'm a sinner, no doubt about it. I'm no better than any of you. If I was still a Catholic and had dial-up prayer, it'd be an auto dial on my phone. I just want to make that known, that we all should act like Jesus, regardless of who we are and who we're dealing with. But that being said, you did make a comment, Mr. Mayor, about downtowns for retail. I believe the college bought current office solutions for a call center. I wouldn't exactly call that retail, it's more commercial, but be that as it may. In Ukraine, we got a horrible war going on. Putin's got his people believing that they're fighting the Nazis. A bunch of misinformation. Unfortunately, there's a lot of misinformation in this world. We got those who think the world's flat. We kind of laugh at them. We got those who are preppers for the Walking Dead, they're coming back, or Bigfoot. We kind of laugh at them because we know that's not true. Yet, the most recent survey from University of Massachusetts, April 21, a year after the insurrection, only 28% of Republicans believe that Joe Biden was legitimately the president. 60 odd court cases, multiple audits, even the ninja audit in Arizona show that Trump actually had less votes. Yet there's still that belief, that this false belief that Donald Trump won the election. And it's unfortunate that our Republican Party has descended into that, where with the different laws being passed about elections and all that, they're shooting for a one-party system down the line. It'd be the end of democracy. I just hope that those who still believe that Trump won recognize the fact that he didn't and just accept it. Let's move on and be one for the country first, not the party first. Thank you.
I did want to just say one quick thing to the Hope House. Again, reiterate, I appreciate the mayor's comments and Greg's comments very much. I just want to remind, we're not against the mission of the Hope House. We're not against the men there. We applaud them for their effort to return and be productive members of the community. The location of the Hope House is wrong. It's in the wrong location. You can't argue the fact. And the people who pull on the heartstrings, what did you call it, Mayor? straw man argument. You conflate Christian charity and personal philanthropy with public policy. And it's our duty here to ensure that the entire community is secure in their person and effects. And it's our duty here to make sure that grandmothers can feel safe and secure walking their grandchildren downtown to get ice cream, candy, coffee, or go to the farmer's market, which is opening this week or this Saturday. And that's our responsibility here. And unfortunately, the appearance of those men, the situation that they found themselves in is not one that helps enhance that appearance downtown. And I found them a place to move, which they said from the podium, the woman running it said she would move if I found them a place to move. I'd have to listen to the language exactly and revisit the video. When I called her and told her I found her a place to move, she's adamantly refused to do so. There's not, we can't do things ex post facto, right? We can't force them out. We don't want to force them out. That's not our agenda. I would hope the owner of the building and the lady running the ministry or the organization would have the decency to be good neighbors and find an alternative location. Bottom line is, many of our neighbors do not feel safe in their person and effect with the Hope House and the location it is. And it's our expectation and hope that that will change quickly. And as far as the special elections are concerned, I appreciate you tomorrow, and I encourage the rest of our community and our county to do the same.
Thank you, Robert. And you're right, regarding the Hope House. You can simultaneously be supportive of their mission and say it's in the wrong location. And that doesn't mean you want to see it fail, and it doesn't mean that you want to see people on drugs, or that you want to see people not getting help.
The contrary, I want these men to become productive members of society.
But ultimately, at the end of the day, mental health, if somebody has an issue with drug abuse, that's not a council issue, but when business owners come to council members, that becomes a council issue. So ultimately, we deal with what our constituents.
May I add?
Yes.
Thank you, Mayor. I also was reminded tonight when Mindy was speaking, and I thank you for that. I thought that the Hope House men had agreed to not congregate on the sidewalk.
I believe at one meeting, the past couple meetings, that the owner of the property, Mr. Lashaway, was here and said that he was building a deck for them. So he's not.
I just seem to remember, and they had been doing that for a while, and I know it still affects you, Mindy. I'm sorry for that, but when they were going around back, I mean, that sure would go a long way, and as long as they didn't catcall people going into the hunt club, or stop traffic going into the parking lots there. I mean, there's so many things. Also, may you speak to this, maybe, Tom? Do we have an ordinance against spitting on the sidewalk?
We do.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yep.
is there a representative of the police department? I would just like to publicly encourage the police department to enforce these ordinances.
We're gonna have a police officer sitting down there.
No, I don't want that.
I mean, that's just it. The laws are on the book, but if you don't catch it in the
I
act.
understand.
I don't know if we can. I don't know if we can enforce it or not. I mean, I suppose we could.
Just, that's just disrespectful in my opinion.
Man,
Yeah. Council comment.
the farmer's market starts this Saturday. I hope they're hearing us. Saturday, people wanna come downtown, they wanna feel safe. I hope they have the respect. It's 6 hours, whatever it is. Stay out of sight. If it needs to be, or be respectful. Because people are uncomfortable. And we're not just hearing it from a few, we're hearing it from quite a few.
There you go. Be respectful. Be good neighbors.
Yes.
Yes.
Just give them the respect they deserve and they'll get the respect back. And that's the way it should be.
Thank you, Bruce.
Other than that, support the farmer's market.
Councilman Deere.
This is for Tom. Tom, did you ever look into the ability for the city to limit smoking in the public areas in the downtown?
To tell you the truth, no, I forgot all
Yeah,
about that
yeah.
being an issue. If you want me to see whether or not there's a way that you can restrict that, sure. I
Yeah,
will make
I'd like
sure
to
that
maybe see
before the
if
next-
we have the authority to do something like
Next
that.
meeting.